how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. Hello for the first time. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope everything's great. Today we're going to make Banoffee cheesecake. And you might be like, I'm not watching that. That takes 2 minutes. Cream cheese, some biscuits, some bananas, some caramel, jamming. Actually, if you want to, it can be very difficult. You can make it an easy way, and you can make it a like super fancy show off to my pals kind of way. No, my pals, they don't care, but maybe your pals care. So we're going to make it the fancy way. While doing this recipe, I will absolutely tell you the easy way to do the thing that I'm doing, so that you can then replace the hard thing with the easy thing. Not hard, just more difficult than easy. And that way you can tailor this cheesecake to be whatever way you want it to be. This will absolutely make it difficult for a tailored feature to edit in the ingredients, but what we'll do is on one side we'll have all of the like more difficult cheesecake ingredients, and then the other side we'll have the easy peasy lemon squeezy recipe, cheesecake recipe ingredients. As you can see, all my stuff is here. I'm ready to go. This thing's crackling away, about to go on fire, so we're almost there. So let's go make cheesecake. Okay, to start this cheesecake, we're going to start off with the caramel. So if you were making an easy cheesecake, you can just buy tinned caramel. Right, the carnation caramel stuff is dino, tastes great, it is the correct consistency, everything's fantastic, right? Buy that. If you don't want to do that and you want to make your own caramel, this is how we do it. We get a really scary countertop hob here. Right, we get that. On top of that, I think I need to get a new one of those. On top of that, we'll put some butter. How much butter, you ask? It's 50 grams of butter. I made my own butter, check me out. You don't have to make your own butter for this, you can just buy butter. Oh! Next we have caster sugar, 250 grams of caster sugar. I don't know why I'm saying that like that, I'll stop. My apologies. While that's doing its thing, we're going to measure out our cream, which is 140 millilitres of cream. We're going to take a haggard jug that we use to cook beans in. Oh no, I've got the extra thick here, look at that, look at that. Maybe shouldn't have bought extra thick cream, but here we are. It's hard to measure because it's just a gloop, but I'm just going to go with that amount. So in this pot with your butter and sugar, give it a wee stirry booty, and then I'll move the camera and I'll show you what you're looking for. But essentially all you're doing is melting this sugar down and getting a kind of caramelly tone before you add in your cream, and that's you. You got caramel, yo. I must say, before people in the comments being like, why did you put butter in first? You're just supposed to put the sugar in, and the sugar's supposed to get to that colour, and then you add the butter and yeah, you can make caramel that way. You can make caramel this way. You can make caramel by putting all of it in at the one time. It's just all the same stuff. Just whatever. I prefer it this way because the sugar gets less angry at me when I do it this way. So that's just what I'm going to do, and I'll show you. It's not as bright, it's not as exciting, but it should be faster. So this is what it looks like just now, kind of like yellow snow, and that's okay. While we're making this caramel, you can absolutely add salt and have salted caramel if that's the kind of cheesecake you fancy as well. It's totally up to you. Now, you're looking for this to dissolve and have like no lumps in it as well, like no crystallised wee bits of sugar, you know. It has to be like a runny, goldeny liquid. A devil liquid because it's bunny hot. It looks a lot darker on screen because I've got no what you call it, light on it, but it's still quite a light colour. See if you can see the colour. Looks alright. I'm going to add cream soon, I think. So now I have a wee whisk, and I'm just giving it a wee whisky rooney. Making sure that I don't hear any crystallised bits of sugar or anything like scraping along. And I'm going to turn the heat off now because I think that's quite a nice colour. And then we're going to add the cream. So we can do that over there because it's quite dark over here, isn't it? So we're going to add in this cream if we can. Must need to get the thickest cream known to man. Jesus Christ, look at that. Usually you would just pour your cream in and then you start mixing, but apparently I bought yogurt. Honestly. Oh, I meant to say it gets really angry at you for doing that, so try and like not burn yourself or anything. It's a good job that I'm not holding a whisk that's got a metal handle, eh? But this would be really, really hot and uncomfortable. Here is our caramel. Delicious, right? So now what we're going to do, the reason we're doing caramel first is because we want this to set and get quite thick. It already is quite thick, but we want it to cool down before we can put it in our base, our cheesecake base. This is the bowl that I used to weigh everything, so we're going to use that. I'm going to pour that in there. The metal bowl in the fridge will help it cool down, but put it in any bowl you want. Also, don't put burning hot caramel straight in the fridge either. That's not a good idea. Wait till it gets to room temperature and then put it in the fridge. So, again, to recap, we've done nothing so far other than make caramel. But if you don't want to make your own caramel, the tin is smashing, right? So if you're not using the fancy stuff, you'd start from here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make our cheesecake base, because that also has to go in the fridge. Get any dish that you require or wish to use. I'm going to use this because it's loose bottomed. You can use like a nice flan dish with like the wavy edges or whatever, add whatever you want, any sort of dish you want. Now when I make cheesecakes, I always make too much biscuit because the biscuit is great. The biscuit's brilliant. There's nothing worse than getting a cheesecake when you've got like this much biscuit and like all this cheesecake. What are you meant to do with that? So I always make a ton of buttery biscuit stuff so that I can use as much as I want. I can use all of it, I can use most of it, whatever, right? If you have any left as well, you can maybe decorate with it if you really felt so inclined. I don't know. I'm using digestives. As you can see, I think Americans would use graham crackers. I don't know. I've never seen a graham cracker in my life. We'll just use the whole packet, which is 360, right? So, general rule of thumb, for every 50 grams, no, for every 100 grams of biscuits, use 50 grams of butter. Is that right? Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. Why did I do that? 1, the scale isn't on. 2, the packet tells me how much it is. I don't know why I put it in there. So while you dirty every dish, get your biscuits into a bag and then crush them. Or a food processor, if that's the kind of person you are. I am not that person because that's a lot of dishes. And put the tea towel down to dampen the noise of the banging. Because his lordship is still in bed.
Isn't that way butter, not even actually butter?
So I used 350 grams of, well, 360, but we'll ignore the 10 because I think that's like one biscuit. And so we need 175 grams of boutoir. So we're going to just melt that. Just going to melt it in a jug. We're going to melt it in a jug. In the same jug that you're going to put your butter, put golden syrup. I put 40 grams of golden syrup, maybe 45 grams. It just tastes nice, right? You don't need to, but I do it, so there's that. So 175 grams. If you want to know how to make your own butter, by the way, because it's like homemade butter that I'm making, I'll put it in this eye, wherever it is. I don't know what side it goes on, but it's in one of these eyes. It'll pop up a link to the butter making video. Butter spits at you when you microwave it, so do it in like 20-30 seconds increments or 10-second increments. Just do it slow, just slowly. Yeah. So pour your biscuit crumbs into a bowl, like so. Pour your butter into the same bowl, like so. And then mix it a bit. Oh no, don't do that, but my counter's clean. They're going back in. I want a rubber spatula. Just mix this until there are no dry crumbs, everything's nicely coated in your delicious buttery goodness. I like to use a rubber spatula so I can like cut through the biscuits, you know, like that. I find that it helps break up any big bits that have too much butter. It helps distribute the wealth of butter. So now that your biscuits are all evenly, I don't know, or absorbed of butter. I don't know how you would, what you would say about that, but anyway, now you get your biscuits are buttery, put it in your tin. Right. Now my plan is to put these biscuits all the way up the edge. We're going to just try and evenly spread the biscuits first, right? Like that, right? Then we're going to dig out a wee hollow in the middle, and then that will start our edges. So we need to make sure obviously that the bottom is thick, like how thick we want the bottom. If you're not sure, just make a gap like that and then have a look and go, that's not thick enough, a wee bit more. Right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Like that. That can be our middle, right? So from here, you can use a glass, you can use your hands, you can do what you want. I'm probably going to try a glass and then probably resort to my hands because I always use my hands. We're just going to push down a wee bit. Oh no, we're going to use a glass with me. I'm going to use this glass because it's got really cute hedgehogs eating apples on it. No, not eating apples, they're gardening, sorry, I thought it was apples. And it's also got a rounded bottom. So the fact that it's rounded means that it'll have a nice rounded edge and shouldn't have like that on the cheesecake, which then means that sometimes this corner might not have anything in it, whereas it's rounded, you're guaranteed that every corner is going to have like a nice chunk of like biscuit in it. It's the little things that matter, you know. So using a glass, you should be able to flatten the bottom like I've just done, and then spin the glass round, pushing the biscuits up the edge. Like so. So you're just going to use the glass to push biscuits into the edge, which will then push them up higher, giving us a nice tall edge. So we're going to put this in the fridge now for like an hour, or if you're me, you're going to put it in the fridge until everything else is ready, and then we're going to pretend it's been in the fridge for an hour. Hello again. So at this point, if you're going to make your extra fancy schmancy banoffee cheesecake, we're going to fry our bananas. Get yourself a wee frying pan, you get your bananas, we're going to cut them, we're going to fry our bananas in butter, and we're going to line them on a parchment paper once they're crispy and good to go and golden, and then we're going to layer them at the bottom of the cheesecake. If you don't want to go fancy schmancy, just cut up your bananas, layer of bananas at the bottom of your cheesecake. But we'll do it together, right? I'll show you. Take a wee bit of boutoir. It's a very butter heavy recipe, this, isn't it? Probably say about 3 bananas worth. Depends how banana-y you like your banoffee cheesecake. If you like it dead banana-y, do 4. Don't do any more than 4 because that's weird. There is no special way to cut these bananas because they're going to be at the bottom of your cheesecake. By the time that you've layered the bananas and then finished making the cheesecake and then cut the cheesecake into a slice and then handed it to someone on a plate, they're not going to see how you've layered your bananas or cut your bananas. They're just going to see a banana layer, right? And you may think, oh, your bananas are going to get smushy because they're all cooked and stuff. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but your bananas are going to get smushy anyway because bananas by nature are smushy, and when you fuck with a banana and take it out of its skin, it just gets mushier and mushier as days go on, you know? So it's going to be a tasty mush. Try and cut your bananas at the same thickness, and as I say, you're just looking for like a nice wee golden colour on them. That's it. Don't put too much banana in at once because you'll find that you'll be frantically trying to flip them all. So do that with all of your bananas for your base, let them cool down, then we'll put them on our cheesecake base. I think personally what I'm going to do is I am going to use fresh bananas because I want that bite of a banana, I want that like consistency change, like where you've got the crumbly base, the sort of not tough banana, but you bite through the banana, you can cut the banana, then the caramel sauce, then the cheesecake. This will be more flavoursome, it'll taste better essentially. It'll have depths of flavour, it'll taste really buttery and really nice, it'll go really well with the caramel, so you have to weigh up which one you want. Anyway, make it too complicated. Slice your bananas, put them in cold, do that. That's your options. What we're going to do now is make the stuff that goes in the inside of the cheesecake, right? Because once we've made that, everything else is sort of good to go and we're pretty much done. You can either use all cream cheese or you can substitute some cream cheese for some mascarpone cheese. Again, an extra wee flavour to make it that wee bit fancier, add a different kind of like flavour to it. It's up to you. Cream cheese will do, mascarpone, whatever, or mascarpone. Is it mascarpone or mascarpone? Tell me in the comments, I don't know. Is there Italian somewhere screaming at me? So we need 800 grams of cream cheese, right? I'm going to take some of that away and add mascarpone cheese. So I have 250 grams here of mascarpone cheese. So I need to put in 650 grams of cream cheese. Yeah. I am not a smart person. Does anyone actually eat cream cheese other than in cakes? Something I don't do. People must because it's there. But I've never sat and ate like a cream cheese sandwich or something, you know? Is that what you do with cream cheese? Do you put it in a sandwich? People put it on bagels, don't they? Bacon cream cheese, is that an American thing? So now we have our cheesy mixture in our bowl, we're going to add some icing sugar. And that's going to be our sweetener. We're also going to add a wee bit of golden syrup, which I think I put away actually. We can add golden syrup, add honey, add maple syrup if you're Canadian, whatever syrup you want to add, just a wee dash of syrup, right, wee extra flavour, loosen it up a wee bit, some sugar. Or do none of that and just add more icing sugar. I'm going to add 85 grams of icing sugar to this bowl. I'm going to add a wee splash of vanilla. Oh, just like a scoosh, right? It's like a tablespoon worth. Now we're going to use a mixer. Use a stand mixer, use a hand mixer, whatever you want. I've only got one leg for this guy, so we could be here a while. But you're just mixing it till it's all together. Do not over mix it though, because you don't want to like make it runny or weird. You just need to mix it together just till it all combines and then stop. That'll do. Let's give it a wee mix. It's still quite thick, which is nice, which is what you want. Now we're going to whip our double cream, which in my case will take 2 seconds because it's so thick. You need 150 millilitres of double cream. Oh, I'm so stupid, man. Do not buy extra thick double cream. Your more here is just stupid. Flies? Flies need to be like the rudest insect about. Most insects are like, do you know what? Don't bother me, I won't bother you. Flies are like the wee neds that get right in your face and go like, we got idea about it, You gotta dip it. That's what they're like. They're like right in your face, just being wee dicks, man. Anywho, so we're gonna whisk our double cream until it's thick, but not over thick because you'll make butter. Told you that would take 2 seconds. Now we're going to add that into our cream cheesy mix. At this point, do you remember the caramel you made 10 years ago? So that's the caramel you're going to use now. So you're going to put 300 grams of that caramel in here with your double cream and you're going to mix it all together. And then we're done. So for the sake of including everyone in this, I'm going to use the tinned caramel to show you that both work just fine, right? Caramel. Looks a wee bit weird, but it's just tinned caramel. Tastes great. So you're putting that in there, right? So you can see that is proper thick, right? But the caramel you make is also really thick. So the two of them will work just as fine. This even hasn't been in the fridge and that's how thick it is. So the homemade caramel worked just fine. So now we're going to whisk this until it's all combined. So I'm happy that all the ingredients are combined apart from the sauce, which is now when I'm going to use my spatula because I don't want to over whisk it, I just want to combine it. Here is our cheesecake mix. I'm happy that all of the cream cheeses and the cream is mixed together, so I'm just going to use a spatula to ensure that all the caramel's mixed through. Let's get our cheesecake out and assemble this bitch. So I've only got a wee bit in this can left, so I'm going to add this to my own caramel and we're going to put a nice caramel base down. So if you were using tinned caramel, I recommend getting 2 tins because you want some nice caramel to decorate with and you want some caramel for the bottom of the actual cheesecake itself. Now we're going to layer our bananas. At this point you would layer your cooked bananas. I'm pointing over there but you can't see, there you go. You'd add your cooked bananas if you went to that effort. If you didn't, you'll just add your plain bananas, like so. If you don't want to go to the effort of laying it out dead nice like this, you don't have to, because as I say, when you cut it, it's going to be an actual riot anyway. Like, it's just going to be a big smoosh of bananas, nobody's going to know that you spent 10 years putting them all down dead nice, you know? Push down on that caramel a wee bit, expose some of that sauce and use the sauce as a wee glue to get that banana stuck right in there. And now we add our cheesecake mix. Now, I'm going to plop some bits on because I don't want to disturb the bottom because it's still a sauce at the bottom, so it can definitely move and we don't want it to move, we want it to stay where it is. Plonk that in, and then once the base is covered we can then use a wee spoon or a spatula or something to try and finesse it. Or you could just put it in the fridge for a while and then put the cheesecake mix in. But we are not people of patience here. And I'm using a knife to do this, to push down to make sure there's no air bubbles or that, right? Let's get a wee spatula. Do you know I'm going to get a turntable for this? Oh dear. Also, my turntable cost me £3 or something from Shein, and I use it constantly. So if you're like, oh, I wish I had a turntable, but like I've no money, just, it's so cheap, so cheap. Yeah. So we're going to put this in the fridge now. I'd probably put it in the fridge overnight, quite honestly, or 6 hours, and then we can decorate it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello. So it's the next day. I've taken this cheesecake out of the fridge. It's the first time I've touched it, but something awful has happened. Do you see this? Something seems to be leaking. This has never happened before, ever, but my cheesecake is leaking. So, I mean, I was going to decorate it, but at this point, like, I'm concerned that there's maybe no point. Will we take it out of the tin first and see? Come join me in my misery when I take this out, because we know that we made the base really thick. So I'm like, how f***ed soft is the bottom of this cheesecake going to be? Honestly, this has never happened before. I have no idea why. Right, okay, let's have a look. Oh, I'm so scared. What the hell? Right, everybody, pray for my cheesecake. Oh my god. I'll do it this way so that you can see the disaster better. So far so good. So it seems to be the caramel. What? Yeah, it's not ideal. But it's not collapsed. The crumb is like solid. So, I mean, solid as in like the way it should be. So, I'm not too concerned. Now my issue is I punched fuck out of it in the way out, so that's not ideal. Whatever, we're gonna ignore that. I can't fix that. Oh, this is awful. Right, we're just gonna decorate it to our best of it. Buddha. We're just gonna decorate it to the best of our ability and wash our hands. Look at that. So I meant to get cream, I didn't get cream, but what I would have done is piped wee bits of cream round the edge, but I forgot because, you know what, I've got other things in my mind. So we have our caramel, and all I'm going to do is just go across it, you know, but we'll do it this way so that you can see the nice side. See, that looks alright, kinda, maybe, I don't know. I want to do a wee bit more at the top here. I guess I'll just put wee chips round the edges. Does that look silly? Yeah, of course it does. It looks absolutely awful, but here we are. You decorate yours how you wish. Don't copy me. This is terrible. Also, if you're new here and you don't know what the noise in the background is, that's my daughter. That's Morag, she's chilling. Right, and then we'll grate some chocolate on that, I think. Maybe grater. We're just going to try and grate it into the middle if we can. Again, I probably prefer dark chocolate, but I'm working with what I've got here because I've not been very prepared. Do you know what it is, guys? I'll be honest with you, I was at the soft play all morning, right? I was climbing chutes and playing in ball pits and whatnot with the Wayne, and forgot to get loads of stuff I was supposed to get today, right? So here we are, too busy being a mum to remember to get you guys some cream. But I don't think you come here for my absolutely amazing, outstanding, foolproof recipes. So I think I can be forgiven. So what was the point in the lines? I don't know. There was no point, obviously. All of that for nothing. Made a mess of this, haven't I? Yeah, I definitely have. It'll taste nice though. So let's cut it and see what happens. And then we're going to take some Levi clay. When I tell you guys that I am scared, I mean it. Let's turn it round and see if we can get a quick cross section while I try and shimmy this onto a plate somehow. God knows what I'm doing. I'm not having a great day, guys. Oh, I'm catching the parchment paper. But there we go. Here it is, cut in half. I'm now going to just take a whole plate of this to Levi Clay and see what he thinks. I'm going to try a bit for you guys for now. You want a wee snack, huh, babes? Snack. This is the best you're going to get without makeup and a wash, right? So this is it. This is it, Morag! Yay. So let's try a bit of this cheesecake and we're done with this video. Before I try this, if you like this video, God knows why you would like this video, but if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It really means a lot to me and it helps. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm totally fine with it. I also have a Patreon if you want to subscribe there. There's like things on there, I don't know. Let's try this cheesecake. So I will try a wee bit. Oh, it's sliding because I've not. Watch me slide all of this on the floor. Like, my God. That's banging. I know that it's leaking, but like for me personally, that is the right amount of caramel and the right amount of banana at the bottom. If I didn't have any of that, it wouldn't be like banoffee, but yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice. Does it need chocolate on top? Probably not. I don't even taste the chocolate, to be quite honest with you. So the decoration would have been fine. Like the swirls of the caramel would have been absolutely fine. It's delicious. It's so nice. You would need the smallest piece though. That noise is not her being sick, by the way. That's her just making that noise because she's wild. Pretty sure that those 2 bites is like my calorie intake for the day. I'm gonna go now. Me and Morag, we're gonna go and tidy the house and go take some cakes to Levi. So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks very much. I appreciate you very much. If you have any suggestions for things you would like to see, like being baked or cooked or whatever, let me know. Also, I see this trend now of like people filming themselves like mass tidying. If you want to see anything like that, let me know. I was considering doing like my pantry and my cupboards and stuff because there's so much ingredients in there that it all needs to be organised and like decanted and labelled and all that kind of stuff, and I thought if you just want to see that, I can film that too, that's fine. It can also mean that I can explain why I have certain things and how I would use them, I don't know. If that's something you want to see, let me know. Maybe that's more a TikTok thing, I'm not sure. Either way, thanks very much and I'll see you later. Okay, love you, goodbye.